I saw her on the TV last night, Mrs. Graham. I would have thought she's about 85 years old. She's only about, I think, something like 57.
Oh, no, I know that.
She's aged terribly.
She's a terrible old bag.
Oh, she's an old bitch in my estimation.
That's right.
Did she talk about facing that kind of sexism and those kind of taunts from even the President of the United States?
Well, Nixon didn't scare her at all.
What did scare her was the idea of losing the paper.
The Washington Post, its press is crippled in a violent strike by...
Never did that feel more real to Graham than in 1975, when the Post's printers damaged the presses and went on a bitter strike for more than 4 months, limiting the paper's circulation.
How challenging was that?
Well, that tore her apart. She was suffering in that way at that time more than she ever suffered during Watergate or during the Pentagon Papers or anything, but she thought she might be blowing everything.
Buffett told us Katharine Graham prevailed because she was brave, and it's because of her that the Washington Post company's stock price went up more than 3,000% while she was publisher. But she didn't just make Buffett a lot of money.
She said, "My effect on Warren has mostly been limited to his lifestyle. I introduced him to the possibility that a steady diet of fast food and cherry cokes might not be the best for him."
Yeah, but she didn't convert me.
So your favorite foods are?
Whatever I was eating when I was 6.
Which was?
It was hot dogs and hamburgers and Coke and ice cream sundae.
And so you're at Katharine Graham's house at this fancy, her very
fancy.
fancy.
Yeah, and she's got a chef and a French.
Her French chef, and you get served a lobster. And what did you do with the lobster?
Well, I unfortunately attacked it from the wrong side. and finally, and of course, she was very reluctant to criticize me. Finally, at some point, she said, it might be helpful or something if you turn out. And what did I know about lobsters?
Graham died in 2001, and Buffett served as an usher at her funeral.
That's a good picture.
As for the Oracle of Omaha, the legendary investor is now 94 years old, still chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, and still making front-page news. Every word he utters has the power to roil the financial markets.
Can I just ask you a couple of questions about kind of how you see the state of the economy right now?
Well, I think that's the most interesting subject in the world, but I can't talk about it. No, I really can't.
How do you think tariffs will affect the economy?
I mean, tariffs are actually, we've had a lot of experience with them. They're an act of war to some degree.
How do you think tariffs will impact inflation?
Over time, they're a tax on goods. I mean, the tooth fairy doesn't pay them. I mean, and see, you always have to just, and then what? You always have to ask that question in economics. Always say, and then what?
So is there an answer for that when people say, inflation persists, consumer prices keep going up, when's the end in sight?
No, prices will be higher 10 years from now and 20 years from now and 30 years from now.
And what do you think about what's happening in Washington right now? About efforts to
I think it's Washington.
Yeah.
It's, technology changes things, all kinds of things, but Washington is Washington. And the problem with politics is that you tend to have to make tiny compromises as you go along.
And what do you think about Elon Musk's efforts to cut?
Well, I better not get into that. Oh,
do you talk to him at all?
I've talked to Elon a few times.
And any thoughts about his current efforts in Washington? No. No. You've always been bullish on American companies.
A majority of any money I manage will always be in the United States.
And why is that?
It's the best place. I was lucky to be born here.
What's your favorite memory of Kay?
Well, I would say one of them would be when that book of hers won the Pulitzer. She'd worked on it 5 years. Meg Greenfield, everybody tried to help, but you got to write your own book. I mean, and it was an incredibly interesting book. It was an honest book, and it was tough. I mean, for her to write.
Would you say Katharine Graham was one of your heroes?
Oh yeah, to do what she did under those circumstances, show me anybody else. It was a unique kind of heroism by a woman.
Do you feel like you've been lucky?
Oh, I've been so lucky, it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Do you have regrets?
Oh, well, everybody has regrets. Yeah, everybody has regrets. No, you're born smart, but you can be born smarter otherwise, but you're not born wise.